from this newest crop year that tariffs are applying to. Our malt suppliers worked with the maltsters, knowing the state of our business, tried to hold off on, they split those tariffs for till the end of the year. The end of the year is now here, and so we're expecting a significant increase on that as well. These tariffs don't just raise costs, they also shrink markets. 2/3 of our beer is self-distributed throughout New York State, through central, western New York, and the Finger Lakes. Selling to businesses that are similarly struggling. In the Thousand Islands, for example, which relies heavily on tourism from Canada, our sales were down 45% this year in that region. This isn't just about breweries. This isn't about left versus right. It's about right versus wrong. Tariffs disrupt supply chains, stifle growth, discourage spending, and hurt everyday Americans. Small businesses like ours need relief. We're just asking for a common sense solution. Repeal these tariffs so small businesses like ours can keep growing, keep manufacturing, keep contributing to our communities and the local economy. So without further ado, I'd like to turn this over to United States Senator Kirsten Gillibrand.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, I want to recognize Andrew for his leadership, for letting us come to his brewery. We're going to absolutely have something to drink afterwards, so we're very excited about. But I appreciate you telling your story about what it takes to have a business in New York, what it takes to create something amazing, what it takes to manufacturing a product right here in New York. And these tariffs really have been a huge burden on our manufacturers, on our small businesses. I want to recognize all the elected leaders that are here, our state senators, Rachel May and Chris Ryan, our assembly members, Big Magnarelli and Al Sturpey, our city auditor, Alex Marion, our current and incoming members of the Onondaga County Legislature and Syracuse Common Council, and then our brewery owner. This holiday season, New Yorkers are doing their absolute best to support their families, their friends, and their communities. Parents are very carefully budgeting for presents. They're budgeting for everyday items like food and heat for their homes, making sure they have fuel for their cars, making sure they can afford the medicine that their families need. Small business owners are trying to stock up on their shelves. As Andrew said, he had hops that were delivered before the tariffs that he was lucky to have, but lots of these businesses were not able to plan ahead to deal with things like the spike in aluminum cost, or to deal with the spike in wood, or the spike in manufacturing goods from China. So a lot of businesses could not make up for the difficulty. This is supposed to be a time of joy, of generosity, but a lot of families are struggling to make ends meet and are very stressed with financial worries and real hardship. Even in my own family, we just had to decide whether we were going to sign up for our health insurance plan again. My health insurance almost doubled. And so a lot of people are just looking at these costs and saying, which one can I pay for and which one can I skip? And it's really hard. Over the last 11 months, President Trump and his administration have needlessly created tremendous economic pain, and it is landing squarely on the backs of working families. Everything from groceries to gas to holiday gifts are now costing more than they did before he took office, and New Yorkers are feeling the pinch every single day. The administration has created needless instability and uncertainty for working people, and President Trump's reckless tariff policies are one of the clearest examples of how working families and businesses are paying the price. Let's be clear, these tariffs are a direct tax on working people. They increase your costs every time you go to the grocery store, buy a piece of clothing, buy something at Walmart for your home, anything that you buy, it is actually costing more. Foreign countries aren't footing the bill because, again, when the business receives the cost, they either have to pay the cost or go out of business. Every day, New Yorkers tell me that they're worried about these rising costs and how they're going to make ends meet. One constituent named Mark has a small home goods company. He employs 12 people, and many of them have been with him for over 20 years. Mark said that the added cost of these tariffs have already forced him to raise his prices, causing him to lose sales. If things don't change, he thinks that he'll either have to shut his doors or fire workers or a combination of firing workers and raising prices, which will end up of him losing his business. Right here in Talking Cursive, we've seen the impact on these tariffs. We heard from Andrew about exactly what tough decisions he has to make here to run a brewery and to continue to have a business that thrives. Small businesses make up 99.8% of all businesses in our state. Small businesses employ 4 million New Yorkers. Nearly 90% of small and mid-sized business owners say inflation is hurting their operations, and 64% have said they have no choice but to raise their prices. These devastating cost increases aren't just hitting our businesses, they're hurting families. New Yorkers on average are going to pay $4,200 more this year because of that inflation, because of those rising costs. Instead of doing anything to help, President Trump is building a new ballroom. He's delivering on his campaign promise to lower taxes for the wealthiest among us, particularly his billionaire buddies. And I think it's absolutely wrong. I have a number of pieces of legislation to stop President Trump from doing what he's doing. One, he shouldn't be raising tariffs. That's the job of Congress. Two, I have a bill called the Small Business Relief Act, which would exempt small businesses from these reckless tariffs. This season should be filled with joy and generosity, and we have to make sure that we can do everything for our families who are facing these new anxieties. American families deserve an economy that lifts them up and that doesn't push them to the brink. I will keep fighting against these reckless tariffs, and I will keep calling out the Trump administration to do the right thing and stop the tariffs on working people. I'd now like to bring up our next speaker. Oh, maybe there is no next speaker. Does anybody else want to speak? Go ahead, Rachel. You can say a few words.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I'm Senator Rachel May. I proudly represent Syracuse, Southern Onondaga County, all of Cayuga County, and I want to thank Senator Gillibrand for lifting up this issue, Andrew and everyone at Talking Cursive, and all the small business owners in my district. I know how hard you work. I know how many curveballs get thrown at you. If you depend on agricultural products like hops, the weather doesn't always cooperate, and you can predict that there will be fluctuations in prices. Those fluctuations shouldn't be exacerbated by ridiculous and arbitrary government policies that are literally designed to make your jobs harder. I should also mention that there's been a lot of profit taking by people in the or close to this administration, I think, because they throw out these arbitrary tariffs at a moment's notice, and I think there's been insider trading, which I hope is going to be investigated as well.
That too.
Good.
So.
But in any case, I know breweries in my district where they had a real partnership with Canadian companies that were sending the aluminum. They were sending it back to get it, put the labeling on, bringing it back to get it filled. All of those things, those were wonderful partnerships. And Cayuga County is a destination for, or should be a destination for tourism from Canada, has been for decades, and we are seeing that dry up. And it is just criminal, I think, to see how our federal government is impeding small businesses in this district and across the country. So I'm grateful to you for lifting the issue up, for your legislation, and we've got to do everything we can to support our small businesses. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Very quickly, I'd like to say thank you for everybody who's here, first of all, and I can't wait to taste the cider, by the way.
Yeah, I'm having the cider. Do you mind if we have cider?
But I want to thank everybody, and thank you, Senator, for doing what you're doing. The federal government right now is just way out of kilter.
Yeah.
And the one thing that that the senator said to begin with, this is a tax. They keep saying we are not going to tax. We're not going to tax. They're taxing common people, everyday people, on the smallest things, the things that they need to live on. They're being taxed. It's hurting our small businesses, and I just want to commend the Senator and everyone else that's here that we got to continue to fight against these things in the federal government. Thank you very much.
Also, again, thank you to Senator Gillibrand for being here. So, it's simple. These tariffs and the decisions that are coming out of the federal government are hurting small businesses like Andrew's. We heard from the Senator that 99.8% of all businesses are small businesses. This is not a complex economics theory, right? So, the Assemblyman is correct. These are taxes. Taxes are getting placed on small businesses. Businesses have an affordability issue. So when Andrew has two questions, do I pass along those increased costs to consumers and hurt those consumers and make his products less affordable, or do I have to eat those costs? Yes. And that is not something that Andrew should have to deal with when he's just here working his hardest to run a successful small business. And those taxes, and by the way, why are they? So Donald Trump and Elon Musk can get their $1 million tax breaks. It's wrong on so many levels. The federal government and its reckless policies are hurting everyday New Yorkers right in the pockets. Thank you.
Did you want to speak? Want to say a word? Go ahead.
I'm here on behalf of the county, and I just want to echo a lot of what my colleagues said. You know, in Onondaga County, we try to use a lot of our economic development through creating small businesses right here downtown for all of our constituents to explore and to enjoy. And vibrant breweries just like this are what we need to keep our county flowing, to keep our small businesses flowing with economics to support not only us, but their families. We have to remember that they have families, right?
Yeah.
And they're protecting their families through their small businesses. They are our entrepreneurs, and we strive on our entrepreneurs to make sure we in the county of Onondaga County make sure that we continue to have businesses that become vibrant and keep our county vibrant. And we thank you for all that you do. And we really have to remember that we have to really watch who we put in offices and who we elect to those offices. Thank you.
Well, first of all, thank you, Senator Gillibrand, and welcome back to Syracuse. You know, Andrew, you have a great business here. The last time I was here, actually on a date, and even with tariffs, you've stuck around longer than he did. So thank you. You know, tariffs are putting the squeeze on people all across New York State. We see it with small businesses like Andrew's, but we've also seen it here in local government. I represent the city of Syracuse as the city auditor. We see it when we go to make purchases, when we're out there buying vehicles. We need snowplows, we need police cars. The cost of those are going up. The cost of the supplies that we need to keep running the city are going up every single day. And we can tie that directly to the reckless tariffs of the Trump administration. And let's go a step beyond that. What are the problems we're trying to solve in the city of Syracuse? We have a housing crunch in our city. We need to build more housing. We need to protect tenants and do lots of other things, but we need to build more housing. That is becoming harder and harder for our private sector and our nonprofit sector partners to do because the cost of building materials is going up thanks to the Trump administration's reckless tariffs. What we are facing right now, this Trumpflation crisis, this manufactured crisis the Trump administration is levying upon all of us, is hurting our small businesses, our communities, and our local governments. And we need to see real action, and I thank Senator Gillibrand for leading the way on this here. We need to see real action from the federal government to stand up to these reckless tariffs that are hurting our local economies. Thank you.
Want to close us out? Just a holiday message?
I'll just do a quick one. I'm Donna Moore. I'm the new council. I'm the council-elect for District 2, so we're standing in my district right now. I just want to kind of piggyback on what you said about the $4,000 increase in people's expenses, because the median income here in our city is about $45,000. So when you think about that, everyday people in this city are being hurt significantly by these increase in prices. Everybody standing here is, and the businesses too, which this is one of my favorite places to come. So I just want to echo what someone else said. Be wise in your voting and vote for people that are going to support you and not big business and not their own pocketbooks. So thank you. Thanks for coming.
Let's get a drink. So what do you want to serve us today?
Getting other reactions and not his.
poster.